Welcome into Cavaliers Live, presented by Wayside Furniture. The Cavaliers back to their winning ways here inside Rocket Arena as they take down the Memphis Grizzlies tonight, 108-100, second game of this 6-game homestand. And the team is feeling good after this one. Some Donovan Mitchell heroics once again down the stretch, reuniting with some old friends. Ty Jerome, now a member of the Memphis Grizzlies. And Donovan Mitchell, 30 points in this one. He's standing by with Serena Winters.
Thanks, Kaylee. Don, it wasn't an easy one, but what stands out to you about how this group won tonight?
It's, like I told you the other night, it's a mental push, right? Like, we were doing a lot of good things. They were making some tough shots. You know, we'd get a stop, they get a lucky O board, right? And we could have easily just caved in and gave in. But, you know, for us to continue to mentally push, Evan Mobley pushing through, wasn't really hitting shots, but still being aggressive, coming through in the fourth, setting the tone for us big time. Naquan Tomlin, Dean Wade, Lonzo Ball, like everybody doing their part. And that's why we got the dub.
Describe that mental push. It's something that you keep talking about. What does that mean when you're out there on the court?
Well, I mean, even when you're doing stuff right, some things may go wrong, right? But the process outweighs everything else. The process always will come back around. You know, like myself, couldn't hit a three to save my life, right? But when it's time, you know, you just keep trusting the work, trust the process. That's the biggest thing. And it wasn't pretty by any means, but, you know, this is all about learning and being able to push through mentally.
What was the biggest difference in the fourth quarter? You know, 6 minutes to go in this game. You guys turned up the pressure.
Yeah, I mean, we got stops, right? Like, made it tough on them. We got the rebound. Like, that's the biggest thing. Rebounding the ball, letting us push, not letting them set their defense. They're a talented team. So for us, it's continue to push the break and get open looks and then rebounding.
You mentioned Evan. It was both you and Evan in that fourth quarter. What were you guys able to accomplish there?
It's our job, right? Like, you know, for us, you know, continuing to push through. We didn't play our best the other night. So for us to just come in and be aggressive when we needed. And started with Ev the whole night. Like I said, shots weren't falling, but he was downhill, attacking. Didn't let the foul trouble for the both of us kind of mess us up mentally. He did his thing, and, you know, that's what it looks like.
Hey, another good night for the youngster Naquan Tomlin, too, right?
Man, that boy Naquan, man, he's something else. He's the energy, you know, like there's just so many little things. I don't really care about the mistakes because they're aggressive, right? For him to be out there playing real minutes with us, shows the growth on his part, and he's only been playing basketball for like 4 years. So, big time for him.
Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thanks, you, Kaylee.
Serena, thank you. Welcoming courtside here at Rocket Arena alongside Mr. Cavalier, Austin Carr. I'm Kaylee Griffin. The Cavaliers with an 8-point victory over the Grizzlies here tonight. And Austin, let's face it, up until that fourth quarter, it was looking a little bleak still for the Cavaliers. They were down 8 entering that final frame. What changed for this team in that fourth quarter?
It's Donovan Mitchell time. I mean, what else can you say? I mean, he hit a couple threes in a row, and all of a sudden the team came to life on both ends of the floor. It really surprised me because it's getting to the point now to where if Donovan plays like that in the first quarter, what's going to happen?
Yeah.
Because the team might score 180.
Let's bring in Iman Shumpert now. And Iman, again, Donovan Mitchell, he had 14 of his 30 points in that fourth quarter. Is this sustainable? What have you seen from Donovan Mitchell?
Well, the good thing about Donovan Mitchell is, like we talked about before the game, Donovan doesn't really force anything. Even though there was a lid on the rim, him shooting it from three, you never really see terrible shots out of him. You never really see him out of rhythm. So you know that he's going to continue to shoot the shots that he's going to think are going to be great shots. And if he can do that, he's going to shoot a great percentage. What I did like is down the stretch, like Austin was saying, they go out there, they see Donovan make a couple of shots, and then the bounce, the swagger comes out. And when you have that, you now know who the leader is. When you have that down the stretch, I think everybody sits comfortable. They keep the game within 3 or 4 possessions. That's always a striking distance. You're at home. You have the crowd. Roll with your guns. And I think Evan Mobley down the stretch just did an incredible job on both sides.
He really did. There's no question this team feeds off the energy that Donovan Mitchell provides them. Let's take a look now at our Make Them Pay moment presented by Tim Misney. And we are going to take a look at that fourth quarter. Aman, you brought up how the team played down the stretch. They outscored the Grizzlies 32-16 in that final quarter. Besides Donovan Mitchell, what was most different about their attack?
I think that their attack became more loose-ended. Everybody was touching it. Everybody was sharing. You saw way more movement down the stretch than you saw throughout the game. I think throughout the game, their legs were a little heavy. Their legs were a little tired. They really got ignited knowing that the game was almost over. I'm almost putting all my money on it that the Cavs are just ready to go to sleep at this point, rest up, get in a cold tub, and make sure there's no injury.
Yeah, you see the numbers here. Austin in that fourth quarter, again, outscoring the Grizzlies 32-16, but they crashed the glass, something that's been a point of emphasis because it seems like right now the Cavaliers are really struggling on the rebounding edge.
Yeah, it is. I mean, because it seems like to me they've morphed into a perimeter team, and now they have to get themselves back into the importance of the paint. And once they get that back and along with their offense, now they're ready to compete. Right now, they are working towards becoming a team that will compete with you for 4 quarters on both ends of the floor.
Well, let's talk about Donovan Mitchell. How can we not after one of these performances again? As AC said, it was Donovan Mitchell time. He finished with 30 points. And Shump, we talked about before the game how he leads the entire NBA in second half scoring, averaging over 19. Well, he finished with 20 here tonight. Again, I go back to it, but how sustainable is it for this team to rely on Donovan Mitchell to come up big time after time again in these second halves?
I think it's incredibly easy at this point. I think he showed it all of his career, but more and more you're seeing it this year where Donovan Mitchell just understands the spots he has to get to. He understands the spots on the floor that you cannot send a double. You can't play help defense, and he's going to make you pay. He's one of the best in the NBA at creating separation to get that little mid-range jumper off. And like they talked about down the stretch, he now has this floater, underhand and overhand floater that he's hitting over the shot blockers that's really helping him mix it up. If the Cavs want to rely on him, I think it's a good call because sooner or later they'll have Darius back, and then the Cavs are going to be a big problem in the backcourt.
No question. Austin, we pointed to these numbers in the pregame show again,
right.
Nearly hitting his average, just over it here tonight. Why is Donovan built for these big moments, and are we seeing the motivation of continuing to play in the postseason, something that they fell just short of playing out here to start the regular season?
Yeah, I think he's built, and Shumpert played with a guy like that has that it at this time, and that was LeBron. I mean, when you look at how he approaches the game when it's time to get it done, his whole demeanor changed. Nobody could stay in front of him. He was passing the ball off of shots. If it was a wide open guy, I mean, he was defending. Everything just changed when it's money time. And Chump knows exactly what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah. I think that we watched Donovan tonight have a different mindset in each quarter, I want to say. I think that if you watch them early on, you watch Donovan still be open to the idea of getting everybody involved, making sure he picks his spots to be aggressive. But for the most part, he tried to play within the realm of everybody else on the basketball court. Toward the end, you saw him sort of put his foot on the gas and say, I will exhaust this dribble. I will exhaust the scoring mentality until you force me to pass. And most times when he does that, he's taking a shot blocker into the air or faking him into the air before he dishes off. I just thought he had great control at the end.
Yeah, he really did. Coming into this game, though, guys, we talked so much about the matchup of Donovan Mitchell and Ja Morant. Obviously, that was spoiled pretty early on with Ja leaving with the calf injury. AC, how did you feel that impact the Grizzlies maybe in a positive way in terms of them understanding that, hey, we have to step up to the plate?
Well, if you look at it, the last 3 or 4 games, Ja hasn't really done much. He was suspended one game, and he didn't play much the game before and the game after. So this unit that was out there tonight, they have been playing together for a minute, so they were used to that. I mean, so to me, I didn't see – they seemed to play better.
Yeah.
And with more energy without him.
Shump, how did you see maybe the Cavaliers' game plan change defensively when they no longer had to worry about Ja Morant, who Kenny Atkinson spoke at length about in the pregame show about how they were concerned he was going to come out with a lot of fire tonight?
Yeah, I think it's a gift and a curse when you have something like that happen because you prepare the guys mentally to corral, to make sure that they're showing a lot of help. And then a guy like that comes off the court and the ball kind of spreads out a little bit more and moves side to side a little bit more. So it takes a lot more rotations, a lot more helper to helper. But I thought the Cavs did a great job making an adjustment. They played everybody great. I think they played way better, especially in the fourth quarter. They played great down the stretch defense of making sure they stayed in front of guys, We saw Sam go in there and make sure that he's getting all these stops and making sure that guys cannot go straight line drive straight down the rim, getting finishes and making guys get into foul trouble. I think they did a great job not fouling. They corralled guys at the top, met them at the rim. When you have those plays and different guys jumping in and out, it's always great for your end game.
Yeah, absolutely. Welcome back in to Cavaliers Live, presented by Wayside Furniture. The Cavaliers taking down the Grizzlies on this second game of a 6-game homestand, 108-100. Let's hear it now from the winning head coach, Kenny Atkinson. His press conference is presented by Wayside.
I think we need guys in the fourth quarter.
I don't know. I felt like we were stuck in mud again for 3 quarters, and then give them credit, man. I thought they played really well. Obviously with Ja going on, they had some guys step up. But we could not get it below, it was like 9, 7, 9. We couldn't get on a sustained run until the fourth quarter. So credit to them. Obviously Edey coming back helps them a lot, because they're in that drop now, and we offensively struggled against him, struggled against a drop, and obviously fourth game in a row where we haven't shot it well, but Danny, 16-point fourth quarter, right? That was really the key. Don made some great plays, and Evan stepped it up, but our defense saved us because we didn't have it offensively tonight.
I felt like Evan was getting to the basket a little bit more frequently later in the game. What did you see that allowed him to get to those spots?
Yeah, I don't know. He was just, he just was more aggressive. His pop was better and just determined. And it's tough against that team because when they got Jackson and Edey in there, you got that's like a wall. You got 2 great, not good rim protectors, 2 great rim protectors. I did think what helped them, we ran that ATO, we got that 3. So now you hit 1 3 against them. Now they started closing out on him a little bit, and I felt like he got downhill off a closeout a couple times. But again, we did not play well and found a way.
Coach, Dean didn't put up big numbers, but he was at plus 22, and I know you went with him in the last 2 minutes.
Yeah.
How big was he in that?
We needed his strength, against those 2 big guys. Just rebounding, ability to resist both of those big guys. Yeah, he was great defensively. We were really debating. We're thinking about Naquan too, but we felt like we needed the size. We needed his strength to wall up against those guys. So, but we were searching, Joe. We were searching for combinations. We're throwing a lot against the wall, trying to get this thing going. But I think at the end of the day, it was Don and Evan that just kind of raised their game in the fourth quarter.
Max and Jalen seem to be your kind of energy guys, and without them, how big does Naquan come up?
Looks that way. There's 2 games in a row where he's kind of really helped our energy. He's not stuck in mud. He's like a racehorse out there. He's flying. He's getting deflections. He's all over the place. Even offensively, got out in transition, made a couple plays. He looks like he's playing an open gym in September, again, part of this is we're not making shots right now. I think that's part of it. I really got to look at our quality of shots we're getting. But again, good grind out game, good defensive fourth quarter.
What kind of confidence can it give Naquan when he's taking on someone like Jaren Jackson, who's proven, who's all-star level guy, and he was getting into some tussles with him there in the third. Like, it seemed like he was up for the challenge.
I was thinking that when he had 18 points the other night, you imagine, it's like all of a sudden, man, I'm an NBA player. I can get 18 points. I can play in a big game like this and contribute, have great minutes. I can't imagine what it does for a guy's confidence. Well, I really believe in the work, right? Like, I think of Summer League, he was, I don't know, incredible, right? He was elite, and you say, well, it's Summer League, sure. And then I would say, open gym and preseason really good. So it shouldn't really be a surprise to us, the coaching staff. but he's building confidence and kind of what we were talking about before the game. This is a speed game now. It's going like this, and his profile, the way he runs the court and his length, he fits this league.
Yeah.
Clearly, Kenny Atkinson with a lot of positive takeaways and a lot of positive reinforcements for the guy that was sitting next to us just before, Naquan Tomlin, as we bring back in Amon Shumpert now. And Amon, I know you had your eye on your blue-collar performer of the night. I got to ask, who was it here this evening?
I'm going to have to go get a blue-collar guy. The award is going to Lonzo Ball. We watched Lonzo Ball play tonight. I thought that his legs actually looked healthy. One of the biggest things that we are looking for out of Lonzo Ball is his ability to create shots for other people, make sure that he's up and down, he's pushing tempo, and I thought he did that tonight. He was also able to shoot it 3 for 5 from 3. I thought he had his legs. I thought he had his decision-making up. I do not want to see him turn the ball over that much, but it's okay. We'll get to the next game as far as that category goes. Lonzo Ball, blue-collar performance of the night.
Yeah, Shump, I really concur with you right there because especially when he's hitting this shot, because I love the way he plays the game. He just looks...
Without a doubt.
He settles the team down. He's confident. And, boy, you better be looking for a pass because it might hit you right between the eyes. I mean, but when he's hitting that jump shot, it seems like it changes everything. And the team seems to starting to follow his lead now, and I like that.
Yeah, that shot looked good here tonight. 3 of 5 from beyond the arc. He didn't push it too much, didn't shoot too many, but he was efficient in those opportunities. And we got more coming up here on Cavaliers Live. Donovan Mitchell leading the way for Cleveland here tonight as he finishes with 30 in the game and 20 in the second half.